Are you ready for the Mr. Wigraf experience?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
All
ready.
right. So today we are going to be discussing the greatest question of our time. Which Pokemon is the worst? And we've heard some great presentations today. We've had a great opportunity to share with each other, to discuss the pros and cons of these particular Pokemon. And I am here to offer what I believe to be the most definitive answer in terms of which Pokemon is bad. It's right here, y'all. Gyarados is terrible. If you like Gyarados, you should feel bad. Now, I'm going to explain this to you very, very simply, but I would ask that you just stick with me. This will not be a discussion of stats or EVs or move sets or anything like that. It will be a discussion on a few design decisions, but mostly just on the terrible, terrible aspects of the life that is one of a Gyarados.
Right.
That's how you know Gyarados is terrible.
the Red X, yep.
Things I don't like. First off, stupid mouth. Look at that thing. It's
What?
terrible. If you try to find specific artwork of Gyarados with its mouth closed, it gets even worse. But let's hone in on this just a tiny, tiny bit more. Weird lips. Don't like those. Why are they there? Why does it look that way? Why is it that color? Don't care for that. It bothers me greatly. But let's dive deeper into the core aspects of the Gyarados. Here we have the Gyarados typing. It is both water and flying. Now, I won't get into the whole dragon Pokemon. Lance used it. Doesn't have dragon typing. What the heck? No, I'm not going to even get into that. I just really, there's an arrow. It's gray. Really focus in on this water and flying. And this is one of my largest complaints about Gyarados. 4 times weakness to lightning. This bothers me so much because while lightning is not or electric is not the most prevalent type, it is so easy to come across fantastic lightning moves, which means your Gyarados can just be swept at a moment's notice. But I want to dive even deeper. Pay attention to the flying aspect.
All right.
Gyarados cannot learn fly. But wait, we all played Pokemon Legends Arceus except for Scott, Scott, come on, look at your life, look at your choices. Please get on that. We have evidence that Gyarados can fly, which means Gyarados can fly. He just doesn't want to fly with you, which means he's an asshole. Gyarados is just an asshole. But hey, you know what? If I was a big water snake flying thing, maybe I also would not want some hopped up 12-year-old with delusions of grandeur riding on my back. That's understandable. Let's dive even deeper. Here are the Pokedex entries for Gyarados, and I only went through the first 2 gens. So in red and blue, it says, rarely seen in the wild, huge and vicious, it is capable of destroying entire cities in a rage. Capable. Okay. In yellow, which will count as Gen 1, brutally vicious and enormously destructive, known for totally destroying cities in ancient times, meaning that with rudimentary, primitive methods of communication, everyone knew Gyarados shows up, he wrecks your shit. Let's move on to Gen 2. They say that during past wars, Gyarados would appear and leave blazing ruins in its wake. It does not get specific. If 2 sides are just fighting, does a Gyarados just show up and cause problems because it's an asshole? Probably, maybe. In silver, it says once it appears, it goes on a rampage. It remains enraged until it demolishes everything around it. It shows up and immediately starts destroying everything around it, and it continues to do so until everything is flattened. And in crystal, and I really want to draw attention to this one, it says it appears whenever there is world conflict, burning down any place it travels through. My friends, this means something terrible.
Yeah.
If we look at the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court, Article 8 of War Crimes, Section 2,
It's
subsection A, Clause 4, it specifically defines as the extensive destruction and appropriation of property not justified by military necessity and carried out unlawfully and wantonly to be a war crime. We can also go to subsection 3, clause 5, which says attacking or bombarding by whatever means towns, villages, dwellings, or buildings which are undefended and which are not military objectives to also be specific war crimes, which means Gyarados is a war criminal. And that is why he is terrible. And that's why I gave him that red beret, common of most warlords found on the African continent who are also war criminals. In summation,
Right.
4 times
Civilians
weakness
are
to
yummy.
effective, 2 times weakness to fucking rock. Embarrassing. Great special attack move set. Its special attack stat is terrible. Again, I didn't get into stats because I didn't want to bore you too much. It actually is the worst of all the 540 base stat Pokemon. It has a stupid face, probably listens to Drake, and is an actual literal war criminal. You can see it right there in that terrible, terrible card art. And there he is saying right there, civilians are yummy. Gyarados is empirically the worst Pokemon.